Now to the latest on the Georgia Senate election runoff. It's 5 days away and will determine if Democrats will add to their slim majority in the Senate. As of Wednesday, more than 833,000 voters had already cast their ballots in this runoff, which pits the Democrat incumbent Raphael Warnock against Republican challenger Herschel Walker. For the latest on the runoff, let's bring in NBC News senior political editor Mark Murray. Mark, good morning to you. So let's start with Senator Warnock, who's going to get a boost later today from former President Obama. We know the former president's campaigned before for Warnock, so what can we expect today from the former president?
Yeah, Joe, this is all about turnout and getting that early vote out. This is the final day of early voting for this Georgia runoff, and you are seeing the biggest star still in Democratic politics, Barack Obama, campaigning for Warnock. Of course, Obama did campaign for Warnock and other candidates right before the general election a few weeks ago. Barack Obama, in our most recent NBC News poll, was the most popular political figure that the poll ended up measuring. And so Raphael Warnock is hoping to kind of borrow some of that enthusiasm and electricity. Barack Obama also is starring in a final campaign ad for Raphael Warnock, in which the former president looks directly to camera, says that this election is going to be close in Georgia. You can't afford to get this decision wrong.
So let's talk about that record early voting turnout. Where is it we're actually seeing the biggest numbers? And does this signal a potential advantage for either candidate?
You know, Joe, Democrats, by and large, are the voters who end up voting early, either in person or by mail. Republicans, particularly after the Trump era, want to vote on Election Day. And so the numbers that we're seeing, I think they're disproportionately Democratic votes. But as Democrats always end up telling me that, you know, they need several great days of sustained good votes to really make up for what is an unusual election that is tucked in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and where turnout is going to be everything. You mentioned the more than 800,000 folks who have already voted early. To put that number into perspective, there were 4 million people who voted in the general election a few weeks ago. And so this will be a smaller turnout, and turnout is everything. Who ends up showing up to vote in this election, either early or in person, will decide who ends up winning.
Let's talk about Herschel Walker. We know Warnock got more votes in November, but didn't get to that 50% threshold. What's Walker doing to try and make up the votes in the runoff?
Yeah, so what Herschel Walker is trying to do is actually borrow some of the celebrity and success from Brian Kemp, the Georgia governor who ended up winning re-election a couple of weeks ago. Joe, do remember that Brian Kemp ended up defeating Stacey Abrams in that general election handily and actually ran well ahead of Herschel Walker. And now you're seeing Brian Kemp stump for Herschel Walker as well as star in his TV ads.
All right, Mark Murray. Mark, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.